Brass's bounty. Double that, they will make a lot of treasures.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out the Xyris Snake Tribal deck and see if we can slither our way to victory. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, if you want to do one-on-one deck review sessions with me or get your deck list played on video, be sure to check out the GoFundMe link in the description below. Welcome back everyone, playing some Xyris the Writhing Storm today, and today's deck list comes to us from GoFundMe supporter Steven, and we are playing some Snake Tribal. Let's go ahead and keep this hand. We've got lands plus Lotus Cobra, and then Xyris does drawing, Skyscribing does drawing. All seems like a plan to me. Let's keep. Looks like we are last in the turn order, my favorite thing, and here comes a Birds of Paradise for the Riku opponent. Looks like we have Dose the Teamer today, as we're playing Xyris, and they are playing Riku. Let's take a look at what our commander does. So it's 2 in Teamer for a 3/5 with flying. Whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. Whenever Xyris deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So kind of a wacky commander in that it incentivizes your opponent's drawing. Giving them resources is generally powerful, but you also make a ton of bodies in the process, so I don't know, this should be interesting. I did look through the deck before the game, and there's some powerful stuff in here, so I could actually see this being a pretty solid deck. But yeah, I'm excited to try it out, and with that brings it to our first turn. So we draw into a Whisper Silk Cloak, play this Triome since it comes in tapped, and we'll pass like that. Opponent taps out and passes. They tapped up their mana for a second. I'm like, oh, please don't be Birds of Paradise and the Cultivate. We're going to be so far behind if they do that. Here comes a Signet for opponent, for the Kenrith. Taking a look at what our opponents are playing, by the way, we started talking about the Riku a little bit. Riku, pretty good, little slow, but once you got the mana, you can copy all your spells and all your creatures, and that is pretty good. So the key to a Riku deck is keeping Riku out of play. If you leave it in play, they can spiral out of control pretty quickly, so thing to watch out for. Scrib Ranger coming into play for the Ashaya, and with that, that'll bring it back to our turn. We draw a land. This makes green, right? That one makes green. Let's play Stomping Ground untapped. And then we have a bunch of fetch lands in hand, which will get us a ton of mana with the Lotus Cobra. So that'll all be very exciting. We just need the Lotus Cobra to stick back to our next turn, and then life should be pretty good. Lots of extra mana. Continuing on our opponents, next up we have Zombie Caller 42 piloting Kenrith, the Returned King. Lots of things to be doing with Kenrith. It is super flexible, but in general, it's the mana that will probably beat you or the cost reducer. Once Kenrith's into play and they can activate that ability a bunch of times, they just kind of get whatever they need, and that's a fairly hard thing to deal with. And then finally, we've got Chaotix 2075 piloting Ashaya, Soul of the World. I've seen some people start to say that this thing is pretty wild and really demands an answer. So, I don't know. We'll see what he's got going today. I'm a little nervous. About what this thing can do. So, opponent's going to shoot our Cobra. At least we get a land out of it. Makes it better than if we didn't. But we have a lot of mana in hand. I don't know if the color matters that much. We have double red. Get an island, I guess. Yeah, that's actually gonna hurt quite a bit though. If we go out mana ramp off the top, would I Incendiary Command all these creatures away? I might. Ooh, actually, you know what? We should probably save that for Ashaya. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So we'll probably, in all likelihood, Whisper Silk Cloak on our turn, but yeah, pretty nervous about Ashaya and its ability to spiral out of control. Seems not great. At least we have like blue and some fairly nasty stuff in this deck to counteract that. From what I've heard, you don't want to be running into an Ashaya deck without some powerful stuff of your own. Like if we were playing like a lower mid-power deck to kind of down to casual range, then it's probably not going to be the best time. But we've got some powerful stuff in here, so we can hopefully combat that. Brings us back to our turn. We draw a land. Yep. Okay. Play the Scalding Tarn. Play Whisper Silk Cloak. Pass the turn. I do hate going last and people shooting your ramp. Like, it's like, hey, come on. I'm already a turn behind. And I get that Lotus Cobra is, like, really good, but everyone else is ramping at this point. And, hey, there's a double vision. This won't be a problem at all. Also, they laid down a Panharmonicon last turn, so double everything that they can do once Riku's in play. Here comes Kenrith into play. Yep. Opponent sends in the Fertilid over to Riku. Once we activate the Makokoro, we kind of need that. We need to draw something that's not a land. There's a Perforos. Perforos is pretty cool. Oh, man. It's going to take us 7 mana to get our commander and get the Whisper Silk Cloak in with our ramp gone. Can't decide if we should just, like, go for our commander and hope for the best, or what? Try to untap with it? I mean, probably, but... Oh, another land. Wow, the flooding. The flooding. Play the Windswept Teeth, crack the Windswept Teeth. We'll get a basic forest, crack the Scalding Tarn. We'll get a Cinderglade. Cast Xyris. Pass like that. So if Xyris holds up, and by the mere fact that I'm talking about it, I've already jinxed myself and that it won't. But if it does, we play a land next turn. We pay 2 to equip this, and then we pay 4 to get Perforos into play. And that all seems like a pretty good place to be. Opponent does cast their Riku, so setting up for the big turn. Oh, man. Almost makes me think we got an Incendiary command. But, like, I also want to hold it for the Ashaya, because, yeah. And Kenrith leaving up a bunch of mana. Yep. Getting that party started. Here's an Hour of Promise. Let's see what lands KO's going to get. Gets Myriad Landscape and a Field of Ruin. Okay. 2 Fields of Ruin on the battlefield. There's a Heroic Intervention. That's actually huge. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a Heroic Intervention. Let's try to equip this Whisper Silk Cloak. See who's going to try to interact with us. The next thing we do is play this Mountain. Then we're going to play this Perforos. Perforos resolves. Oh, this should be a pretty good time. We'll swing into Zombie because he pathed our stuff, I guess. I don't know. Don't love giving people cards, but what can you do? That is the name of the deck. Opponent's going to draw a card with Kenrith, and that'll trigger a snake. That'll trigger Perforos. We hit for 3, we draw 3 cards. That'll trigger 3 more snakes. And that'll trigger 3 more Perforos triggers. So getting some damage in on everyone right there. Things going pretty good. Go to the end step and discard. I don't think we need the fetches that much, so discard the Prismatic Vista. Next turn, we've got some things we can look at. Probably hold up Swansong mana. Get Shadow Spear going. I don't know, maybe we'll take a look at this Incendiary command. Riku is kind of primed to have a big turn right here, so we may not even be the threat. We'll see what happens. Also, just like an Acidic Slime right here would be really bad. They tap out all their mana and pass. That seems odd. Croson Grip on the Whisper Silk Cloak. Down that goes. Protection gone. Well, we've got protection in hand, but we do need to untap first. Death Rip Ritual. Morbid. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died, you may draw a card. That can potentially trigger this Xyris more. Kenrith going to swing our way. We'll block with a snake, because when they draw a card, we'll get another snake, so... Creature dies, end step, Death Reap Ritual triggers. They get to draw a card. We make another snake, and that'll trigger Perforos one more time, so we didn't really lose anything. Basically, they drew a card, and we pinged everyone for 2. Oh, that's an Azusa. Yeah, that's probably going to speed KO up a bit. Plays a Crucible of Worlds, also pretty good. Has a fetch in the graveyard. Yeah, Terramorphic Expanse, okay. KO just ramped a lot. Oh man, I would love to put Shadow Spear on Perforos, but we got to get Perforos into creature form. I don't know that there's enough devotion to red to do that necessarily, but it's fun to think about. We're on 2 devotion to red. We would need 3 more. Ugh, another land. Gross. Opponents are tapped out here. That's good news. So let's play the Mountain, I guess. Play the Shadow Spear. Equip the Shadow Spear. Get a little bit of life gain going. And then I think we'll leave up protection effects. Next turn, maybe we think about the Sky Scribing. Swing over to Riku this time. Seems like they have a lot of nothing going on in their hands, so we'll give them a few cards. Why not? Even though that's not dangerous at all. Who knows? Maybe this game will get wild. Panharmonicon and Double Vision. Seems pretty crazy. We hit. They take 4 damage. Xyris is going to trigger 4 times. Perforos is going to trigger 4 times. Ooh, we could play this Crystal right now. We got some mana ramp in hand. I'm going to leave up both pieces of protection because I think people are going to be gunning for us. I know we could play some ramp right here, but yeah. Give up on the Botanical Sanctum. Simic Growth Chamber doesn't seem necessary. Fetch land doesn't seem necessary. So ditch all the lands. Opponents are down to 17, 20, and 22. Yeah, we are just chewing through life totals. Brass's Bounty. Double that. They will make a lot of treasures. Yeah, we should probably counter that, but whatever. I think I'm basically only on counter things that like either kill us or try to kill our stuff. Opponent gets 7 treasures. Oh, they're going to get so much mana out of this. Copies it with Riku. Yeah, they get 3 copies of Brass's Bounty. Seems good. And then the final copy. They now have loads of mana. Looks like 19 treasures. Well, I guess this is already done with, but if they have creatures, creatures could be scary. But if we can untap with our stuff, like Skyscribing probably does it. Brainstorm. Copy Brainstorm. Trigger 0. Uh-oh. That's going to trigger Xyris 6 times. I don't know that they wanted to do that. Perforos will trigger. Brainstorm number 2. 3 more triggers. Storm down to 5. Zombie at 8. KO at 10. Palladium Mirror into play. Sure. Triggers Riku. Opponent now has 3 Palladium Mirrors. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Talisman. Isochron Scepter. Does this counter artifacts? Nope. It double imprints? Well, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Wonder how that works. What they put under here. Return to Nature. That's a pretty good card. And just Return to Nature? I can't see if there's another one behind it. Isochron Scepter. Copy Return to Nature. Let's see what they want to target. Targeting Shadow Spear. I'll let that go. I mean, it's nice, but I don't think it changes the situation all that much, so we'll hold the Heroic Intervention for the last possible moment. No Mage Mentor. Tap 4 creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, that still doesn't really impact us that much. That's a cool card, though. I should probably use that a little bit more. I guess I don't play that much green. Hey, but you know what? That could actually be pretty cool in this deck, because you're probably going to have a lot of tokens around. That's actually pretty interesting. Maybe give that a look. Not saying it's the best thing ever. Like, removal spells are definitely good, but this is repeatable. And, you know, you have this many tokens out, which I assume this deck's going to do fairly often. Being able to destroy multiple things is really good. Lotus Cobra into play for Chaotix. He's got a cool-looking one. I guess that's the new one out of Zendikar Rising. Haven't seen the art yet, or at least paid much attention to it up to this moment. Gets a land into play. Opponent's going to try to Hero's Downfall our Xyris. Nope, that's not going to work. Play the Heroic Intervention. And telling opponents I have the wheel in hand so that they're all going to die. We're going to go to game 2. Game 1, yeah, we just kind of crushed it with Perforos. Perforos is one really strong magic card, as is Xyris. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in game 2. Hey guys, in addition to my TCG affiliate player link, I now have an affiliate link with Flipside Gaming, an LGS from my hometown. You can use the promo code REPLAY to save 10% on your next order over $10. Both affiliate links are in the description below. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below.